So this person I met online on a language exchange app. She goes to one of the Ivy League schools, and wait a minute, why do I sound like a grandmother? Why do I sound like a grandmother, right? Okay. I don't know, something's wrong. So she goes to one of the Ivy League schools, and she's wondering if it is okay to not go right into a medical school. Okay? Because one of her parents has the same background as myself. And her mom, oops, I said it, her mom and I are almost the same age. Okay? Thing is, we both went to high school and college in America. The difference between me and her mom, is that I failed to finish my mission. That was going to law school after college and become a lawyer, which was a big thing back then in South Korea. See, only academically challenged students went to America back in the day. But starting from maybe 1990s, early 1990s, there was a time when this dumbass wrote a book. I shouldn't call him dumbass because he's a successful guy, right? But later it turned out the book was such a poison, right? As it is for a lot of books, because publications are worse than the media. In terms of corruption, like the lies they tell you, to make money. But anyway. So because of this book, a lot of Koreans who are already doing well in Korea went to America. So they could go to Harvard, and become a lawyer like this guy, or even doctor, right? Thing is, after, it was okay as long as you finished your school and everything just went as planned. But what happened in my generation, those who graduated after 2000 or 1999 even, was that there was this Asian financial crisis that took place in 1998. And because of that, a lot of people had to come back, couldn't finish their education, right? Or actually, those people, those people who did end up coming back during college, turned out that it was a good decision because, really, the people who were really hard hit by this was not those people, but then others who somehow managed to finish the college. And, which means they graduated, right, from American colleges and came back to Korea and realized that there was not really a place for them in the real world, because most of the good jobs before this Asian financial crisis, the economy was booming, companies were hiring. But after that point, companies began reducing the employment, the hiring. So what ended up happening was that those good jobs, right? By good jobs, I mean those jobs that pay you well for the hardship, for the workload that you're assigned to. And at the same time, also promise you good career development, which means you'll probably climb up the corporate ladder in a good company, right? Not like a startup, joint venture or something, right? Those people who actually luckily graduate from American colleges came back to Korea, couldn't find these good jobs. But what ended up happening was that they ended up taking jobs that no one else would take. I mean, no one else from the same labor force, right, would take. So, like, a lot of those jobs were like positions with a lot of responsibilities, required a lot of, skill set, but at the same time, didn't pay well, or freelance based, even part time. The difference between me and this girl's mom is that she didn't have to face this obstacle. You know, basically, everything. I don't know her, but I'm just saying, like, based on what she told me, I don't know what happened to like her others. Like, I don't know her, right? But I'm just talking, all based on the topic, all based on what I know, right? She, like, her career smooth sailed. It sounded like, while I could not go to your law school because of this Asian financial crisis. Unlike in college, the law schools wouldn't give out scholarship to foreign students, which makes sense. I mean, come on, like, I don't think it's law, lawyer, or it's education that trains judges, prosecutors, lawyers, right, of your territory, like of your country. So why would your law school financially support non-citizen students who are expected to go back to their countries, right? I mean, what are they gonna do with the U.S. state licensed law degree? Or, sorry, I cannot finish up the sentence. Anyway, and this girl was majoring some kind of biology, and I'm not gonna give out details because it's private information, right? And it sounded like she was going to medical school, and I think both her parents are lawyers. So I noticed this a very typical family, Asian family or Asian American family, with elite parents, right? Parents with elite backgrounds, expecting their daughter to go to med school, become a doctor. So I kind of started wondering, maybe there is a possibility that this girl, it's about time for her, I think she was junior, right, to start second thought. Why? Because she's a human being. She's a human, not a robot. You see the difference between a robot and a human? Robots do what they're told to do. Humans naturally don't. A lot of times they rebel. They always have to find a reason when there's something to do. There's a task given. So the problem with this elite family, especially in Asia, right, is that their parents have a lot of expectations. Their parents are very demanding. So the kid, they are pressured to work hard, and from the childhood, they learn that this is how they please their surrounding, by being a good boy, good girl. And they get credit for it from their surrounding, usually their parents, teachers. They get the validation. They feel important. And as they get this credit, this respect, acceptance from parents, teachers, as a child, they learn that this is the right way to be accepted by these people. So instead of wandering around, instead of wondering about what they truly want, what makes them happy, they just are trained to make choices for others, for these people. The problem is that, well, I'm going to use an example of my country. So these elites, they grow up, they have a successful career, and they get married because it was time for them to get married. They have child or children, they give birth to children, right? They have amazing family, wonderful family. Once again, validation from other people. So everyone around them is jealous of them, thinks they're great, they're successful, they're an example. They set an example, right? But then you don't know. You never know what's going on inside the family. You never know what's going on inside the person's head or heart. They could be miserable. Thing is, are they miserable? Well, sometimes yes, sometimes no. But because you're human, at one point of your life, especially when something goes wrong. Let's say you start having fights with your spouse. In good times, you don't think about things. Never becomes an issue. But it is always in the bad times. These challenges come. So let's say you have a fight with a spouse and you start wondering, well, first of all, you'll think that you're probably right and you'll be like, what's wrong with my wife or husband? But then as this keeps happening again and again, this continues on, you will realize that your thoughts go deeper. And then you start kind of wondering, wait a minute. Do I even love the person? Why? Why did I marry her or him? Well, likewise, when you're at work, right? You're doing well. When you're doing well, you're successful. You're climbing up the ladder. You're not gonna have these thoughts. But things, never last forever. You cannot always. There will be moments when at least you will be unlucky. Something just you didn't expect. Something that was unprecedented. Could happen like anytime, at least once in lifetime. During your career, right? In your career path or whatever. So during in a bad time, like what I was saying about bad time in a marriage, you'll start wondering, okay, why? Why did I choose this job? Right? Why? A lot of people, without challenges, without the experiences of fucking up, without the experiences of wandering around, a lot of people who just went straight up to law school, straight up to being a professor, being a doctor. Not all, I cannot speak for all. Do not have answers. Or their answer would be like, I did this for my parents, to please them, for my surrounding, to other people. This is when you start feeling angry, feeling like you have done a lot of work, you have been very dedicated, you have given up all this fun, pleasure, happiness for pleasing these people. I mean, trust me. This kind of feeling happens to a lot of people who don't even become successful, Like my dad. He's always been a nice guy. But in the late years of his life, he's acting this way. Because I always knew he was kind of guy. I mean, nice guy, but, he would just live for people around them. And they were just kind of like feeling kind of guilty sometimes because we knew he was sacrificing himself, right? But it wasn't really for himself. He always felt that he was living his life for other people. So in his late years, he became a different person. He's angry. He's easily perturbed. He just started like cutting off ties to people. He's blaming others on his problem. Is it like blaming problem on others? No, yeah. Blaming other people on his problems. I mean, this is total irony, man. I mean, to me, it looks like this is not a nice guy. You didn't do anything for your parents or your surrounding. You made the decisions to please other people. That was you who made the decisions. While you feel like you went to law school, you went to medical school for your parents. Actually, it was you who chose to be not independent, who chose to follow their advice. Sometimes, let me say, even he chose to not rebel because of this emotional comfort or financial comfort they provided you with. Wait, why am I talking about this? I'm kind of like lost. It's kind of like my career, right? No, I'm just kidding. Well, yeah, this is kind of like what this video is about. Kind of like getting lost, It is okay to get lost. You don't have to go to law school. You don't have to go to medical school. You don't have to follow your parents' advice. It is okay to try different jobs. It is okay to not be successful. Successful by the definition made by other people. Because at the end of the day, it is you who will face yourself and your problems, your own problems. The problems with your wife, problems with the job, with the husband. And you will want to have answers, man. Not like those people I just talked about. I did this for my parents. I did this for my teachers. It was their fault. No. It's no one's fault. At the end of the day, you'll want to have explanations for yourself as to why you made these choices. And without fuck-ups, without failures, you're probably not going to have very good explanations. Because you know why? Every time you fuck up, every time you fail, you'll think harder. In the process of becoming a lawyer or becoming a doctor, becoming a professor, whatever, right? Becoming an executive in a global company. What is it? Like transnational something like corporation? Every time you face a challenge, something doesn't go right, you'll think about it. Why am I doing this? So by the time you reach your, the mid-level, mid-career, is it mid-career or mid-level manager, whatever, right? Down the road, 10 years later, 20 years later, even 30 years later, these answers pile up. So, the later years, when you face a challenge, obstacle, you face yourself. You ask yourself, what the hell? Why the hell am I here? At least, right? This is at least. At least you'll have a lot of answers. Why? And this is why those people who fuck up a lot in early years, they have this ability to get back up. Is it like resilience? Whatever. And this is only one reason why failures of fuck up or meandering around or wandering around, rather than just smooth sailing career, right? Smooth sailing, becoming successful without problems, any challenges, any obstacles. This is why these failures, the sense of loss or feeling lost, losses, right? Damn, I cannot speak English. Well, I'm not a Korean American, I'm Korean who went to college in America, so that's my excuse. Anyway, yeah, this is why these failures to find job, find whatever, find a great wife or husband, or find great job in early years, are not necessarily a bad thing. Probably even better than the other way around. Only one reason, right? Once again, why? Because you will have a lot of answers for yourself. When you meet, when you encounter with a challenge later in your career, later in your marriage. And you know why? The older you get, the bigger this challenge get. When you're young, the problems are little problems. But by the time you become like 50, you'll have your kids. You'll have a lot more responsibilities. You're not going to have enough, as much energy. You're not going to be young. So you'll have sort of a fear too. Because, yeah, like, basically, like, when you're old, you cannot, it takes a lot more to, like, gather energy and, recover and shit. So this is only one reason, man, why these failures are probably really helpful. Although, I know. I mean, I've applied to about 1,300 jobs, and I didn't get into most of them. And these failures can really fuck you up too. It really, you'll be depressed. You'll have emotional problems. I've suffered from panic attack for 10 years. Not good experiences, right? I don't recommend it, right? Even like including the experience of quitting alcohol was so freaking hard. Don't do that. So either like don't drink alcohol at all, or just don't be an alcoholic, right? Like, because quitting alcohol is probably the toughest thing. I mean, one of the toughest things in my life. Not gonna be fun. After year 4 years, I still dream of, my brain remembers it. Like, I wake up sometimes feeling drunk. So scary. Like you have a dream where you are drunk, and next morning you wake up and you feel like you have a hangover. It's scary, man. Your brain remembers it. Anyway, actually, yeah, like I made this without script, so. And then I was gonna say stuff like I didn't know like how to make this, how to deliver this point crust. So, like one of the things I was gonna say was like, well, if you think too much, it's usually not a good sign. Usually means you're not ready yet, or it's not for you, or it's not time. Like it's not time for you to start something, right? Or you're not ready personally. You're not skilled enough, or or it is not for you, right? Why am I repeating myself? Anyway, I have a lot of thoughts before making this video. But I just turned it on because for me, right? I just do it. Just do it. Like the Nike advertisement say. Usually prep, work. I mean, it varies, you know? This is something, like I said, now this is something I learned from my failures, my experiences, right? Right. So what I was going to say. Yeah. So let me talk about just one more thing. Why failures are good for you, actually. And I have to I'm not really borrowing this to this guy. I don't even remember. He's like British, maybe comedian or some IT guy. I saw this on YouTube video. I totally agreed to his point. The people who made early success when they're 20s, 30s have this tendency. They believe their way is all correct, and they know just one way or maybe two. Whereas people who fucked up like hard, who failed miserably in this ages, right? In this time. Because they think, they observe, they analyze. They start looking deeper and deeper. I mean, think about it. Like in the first time you fuck up, right? You'll probably get drunk and just not care, but then you'll fuck up again, right? You'll not be like, wait a minute, what did I do wrong? So you'll try to, look at the issue from another angle, another perspective. The third time you fuck up, you'll do it again. You'll look deeper. You'll also look for another reason why you fucked up. You know what? This is why in sports, the best coaches are those who didn't really succeed, who were not very successful as a player. Doesn't that make sense? This totally makes sense. Because for some reason they couldn't really play well, perform well. Maybe it was that they didn't have enough physics, or they weren't really talented, or something. They were injured for a long time, or something. Or they're just not lucky, This makes them strategists, man. Because they think hard, while those people already have talent and have like all the factors right. They have right people, everything. They have right. In Korea we call it infrastructure, but I know this is wrong. Resources. So these people who become successful as a player, they don't get it. They don't really have this. They just have like the very narrow perspective. Not all, but most of them. They never really got to think about like the game from another angle, different angles. Okay. So as a manager, as a coach, you're more likely to succeed. The more you fucked up as a player, the more. I mean, I'm assuming you tried just as hard as anyone else, right? So that is important, right? In another video, I was gonna make a video on like why life is not very serious, but this is totally different issue. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep this message simple and straight. So like for those of you who are very passionate, and the passionate people usually know they are passionate, but either don't know why things just don't work out for you while you're already like hard working, like you work hard, or those people who are still seeking answers. You've been very dedicated, or very well behaved or behaving until this point since childhood. Those people, right? Kind of feel like, oh, I think I don't know if I want to go to law school. I don't know if I want to go to medical school. Those people. This video is for those people. Okay. It's okay to fuck up, man. It's okay. It's okay. As long as I don't even want to say this, but yeah, it's okay. Just keep searching for answers for yourself, because there's no right answer for everyone. I know this is cliche, but and at one point you'll realize you'll find your own answers. And please don't listen to other people. No, other people usually poison, especially your family, especially parents. Yeah, it's like a very natural thing. As you grow up, you want to develop your own identity, and it is prerequisite for you to be different from your parents. At least, although like you might end up going back. It is inevitable. You know, you've got to experience this stage. I think I talked too much in this video. I'm getting tired too, so I think I'm gonna end it here. If you like this video, please leave a nice comment and subscribe. Come back. Probably will. The more I receive the likes, the more subscribers I receive, the more I'll be able to make more videos like this. Thank you so much. Bye bye.